Hello and welcome to Grateful AF Day 2. So this whole event is to help you have more AF days more regularly. And not only that, but to really like that experience, to enjoy taking regular breaks off of drinking. So you can get to know yourself better. You can enjoy greater health. You can just feel better all around. Hi, iPhone. I think that's Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Um, yeah, we want to make AF days more pleasurable. That's like my whole goal with this group really is to get people to really love not drinking, taking time off of drinking, drinking less overall, because it really enhances your life quality. You feel so much better. And when you feel so much better, you can do greater things. You have more energy for yourself, for other people. It's an entire ripple effect. You'll notice that your relationships are enhanced, that you're clearer thinking, you do better work. It's like there's no harm in any way, shape, or form by drinking less. So I just find it so valuable. That's why we're here, the long and the short. So the recap of how to play, if you want to play to win a one-on-one session with me, which is really awesome because you get to like spill the beans in a really safe and comfortable professional environment. With a professional coach who can help you see things that you can't see. So because we all have blind spots, right? And if we didn't, then everything would be great because we would see them and we would know how to fix them. But you can't fix what you can't see. And so that's why working with a coach or a professional in regards to your drinking is so valuable. So that's why I'm offering a session. And here's how you can win. You show up on the Zoom, as some of you are right now, or you watch the replay and then type in the chat that you watched the replay. You apply the technique or the mindset training that I offer for that day, and then you write about your experience. It looks like the conversation has moved over to Messenger and to the Messenger chat that is attached to this event in the Facebook group. So that's where you can find that. There's some commentary there about people's experiences yesterday, and I love reading them. So please show up there and make yourself visible and allow the community to really come together so we all feel like this really isn't is such a shameful, it's not a shameful problem. It's like so many people have this issue, so many, and not everybody's doing something about it. So welcome to doing something about it. Cool. So drinking during the week really, for the majority of people, is trying to serve the purpose of transitioning from the day, right? The work day into the relaxation time, or like the time when you are telling your mind, trying to signal to your mind, I'm done with this day. Like I'm done with this day now, and now is what I get. Now is my treat. Now is my reward. Now it's time for something else to happen that is not the earlier part of the day. That is not me working so hard. That is not me running around. It's like it's a signal to your mind and your body that now I get to relax, right? So for the majority of us, that is what drinking has done. It has solved that problem. It put the brakes on the day, it shifts gears, and it turns the time into something else, but not really, right? Like that is what we tell ourselves, and that is why we do it, is because we're telling ourselves that this is in fact what happens. But we all know that there's really something else that happens. We get more tired, we get more checked out, we then make poorer decisions than we normally would. We buy things on Amazon, or we eat shittier food than we normally would. So it's really a myth that we need to bust up. It is, it's a belief, right? And if you believe a belief, you're going to keep doing it, which is why it's so important to be self-reflective and to look at the things that you're telling yourself about what you think that drinking is doing for you. Because as long as you say that it is, you're going to keep doing it. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. That's how our minds work, right? And that's why we have habits. Habits are systematic ways of thinking and doing that solve problems for us. And that's how we've adapted. And that's how we've stayed alive as a species, is because we have habitual patterns. We don't go looking for the water every single day. We know where it is, we make a beeline to it, we come back. So we have these systems inside of us that help us function and think less, and then thus preserving energy for other things. But when there's a maladaptive system in place, such as drinking to relax or drinking to have fun, drinking in order to try to solve a problem, and that becomes habitual, we now have a maladaptive habit. We have a maladaptive system in place that can become hard to break. But when we really look at it, like when we start breaking this thing apart and like changing little bits of it, it is flexible. It's not a fixed state. So that is what we're going to talk about today. So yeah, let me get my handy dandy visual. I drink a lot of coffee, so I'm like, okay. What is a habit? A habit is an attempt to solve a problem. And when the attempt works, right, when we find pleasure in it, we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. And then we've taught our brains, we've created really strong neural pathways that this is the solution. This is how I get from A to B, such as this is how I unwind at the end of the day. Open a bottle of wine. It becomes automatic because we cease to think about it. But when you start to think about it, you find that there are other solutions that can give you the same effect without the hangover, without the nausea, without beating yourself up for doing something that really we all know and are learning is not the best for us. So cue and trigger I use interchangeably. If you watch the video from yesterday, I explained that there, but a cue is something that's more visual, that excites your brain to then go do something. It's an external circumstance, where the trigger is something that happens internally. It's a response. It's like an emotional response or an energetic response to a stimulus. Okay. So let's say the cue is that it's dinner time, or the cue is that you're off work, or the cue is your friends are going to happy hour, right? And then the routine, well, let's jump ahead. The cue sets the whole system in motion, right? But the whole end game is to get to the reward. And the reward is a feeling. The reward is a way that you want to feel. That's all it is, right? Because we only ever do anything because we want the feeling that we think or we expect that it's going to give us. And which is often to a fault if we're using drinking for it, right? Because it's a double-edged sword that does give you relaxation, but then maybe you fell asleep on the couch and didn't wash your face and put your pajamas on, right? It's like a whole host of issues. So to have the reward, right? We want to keep the reward because we do want to feel good. We do want to feel relaxed. We do want to feel certain ways. But then the idea is then we're going to substitute out the routine from drinking to something else. And you want to think about that now. So as early as it is, wherever you are in the world, start thinking about that, plan that for your day now. So what is the reward that typically on a typical day when you drink in the witching hour or you know, wine o'clock, wine or beer o'clock or cocktail o'clock, whenever that is for you, what are you hoping to feel? Are you hoping to relax because you have a stressful job? Are you hoping to have more energy because you have kids and like your day's not over yet? What is it that you're hoping to feel? And become really aware of that, right? It's like sometimes we just drink and we don't even know why we're drinking, but there is an objective to it. There is a meaning that we've assigned to it that is probably really old, so we don't really have it at the forefront of our minds so much anymore. Or we just throw off casual statements like, I want to relax, or this is how I de-stress, right? But really think about, how is it that you want to feel at this time when you typically drink? I want to feel relaxed, or I want to feel what? There is a feeling, there's a definitive emotional state that we're trying to achieve by drinking. So you want to identify what that is for you. Get really clear about that and write it down. If you're here with me right now, write it down. And then we're going to substitute out the routine of drinking, and we're going to insert the routine of something else. So this is different for everybody, but I'll just throw some general things out there that kind of fit the bill. The routine can be a beautiful drink that you make, right? Look up, maybe you have some craft AF cocktails that you like to make, like a nice drink that you would actually then put in a wine glass or the glass that you use, and maybe go sit outside for a minute and like take a time out and enjoy and relax and shift the gears of your day. That's something that a lot of people do. Another thing might be that you sign up for an exercise class, like, and prepay for it so that you know that you're going. Like when you get off work, like, I know I'm going 2 blocks over to that yoga studio that I always say that I'm going to, but then I don't because I end up drinking, right? Or something like that. What is it? Put it in place now. Put it in your near future now, today, right now. What else could things be? Something as simple as just going out and walking around your neighborhood without a phone, preferably, just to like come into your body and take some deep breaths and to enjoy being outside, something that calms the nervous system, something that will offer the same reward that you were hoping to achieve with drinking. So identify what that is and put it in place so it's ready to go. Go buy the ingredients that you need to make a nice drink. Go buy yourself a nice craft alcohol-free beer. There's tons of those now, especially in the States. A plethora of things that you could choose from. A really nice kombucha, if you like. Pour into a glass. Create a routine around it so it has that specificity of being special and an interruption in your day where you're actually giving yourself something in hopes to get the reward. Okay, so it's like creating the placebo effect, but it does in fact work. It does in fact work. It just takes practice, and everybody here can do this. And the more you practice it, the better you feel, the more you actually crave the other thing. When you realize how good you feel when you make it through that little hump in the day, right, that exists for all of us, which is like 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 or whatever it is for you, moving through that time changes everything because your sleep is better. You wake up like, oh my God, I didn't drink yesterday just because I made it through this hump time. So these, I'm really mature. No, I'm not, just kidding. This whole series of sessions, I'm offering you to help you do that, right? It really is just a small amount of time to get through, but the payoff is huge. The payoff is a whole 24 hours that you didn't drink. And then you can repeat that. You can repeat that. Or you can at least, at the very least, if you're just starting out, be like, every Tuesday, I have an alcohol-free Tuesday. If you're someone who's accustomed to drinking every single day, like I was, start small, but build it into your lifestyle. Get excited about it. And so also the routine, whatever you're inserting for the day, and identify it now, please, that will give you the reward, the feeling that you're hoping to achieve. Get excited about it. Get excited, look forward to it the way that we previously looked forward to drinking, right? I definitely, even in like the morning, I was like, can't wait till 5 when I can drink and this friggin' day is over. Hadn't even started yet, you know, because I had so much anxiety from drinking all the time. So you can maybe relate to that. But all of that shifts and changes when you're able to remove alcohol more and more into less and less. Alcohol, like there's a meme going on, is causing a lot of the problems that it's trying to remedy. And that is totally true. And the less that you drink, the more you can see that, right? And it becomes really empowering when we start telling ourselves these truths, that alcohol is not giving us the thing that we were hoping it would give us, which is why people drink more and more in the attempt to, maybe this drink will give me the feeling. Oh, it wasn't the third one. Maybe it's the fourth one. Maybe it's at the bottom of the bottle. I can't find it, because it's not ever going to give you something positive from something that is so harmful. But we tell ourselves that it is, which is why we keep chasing it, right? Like a hamster on a wheel. And the way to interrupt these patterns is to break the pattern with a different routine. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to identify at which time of the day this shift happens, for the witching hour, right? Like when you normally drink. Yesterday, I asked that you set a timer for it. You could do that again today for sure. You could also do the ball exercise if you're like really having a craving, but insert a different routine that you're looking forward to, that feels pleasurable and fun, that you're going to do instead of when you would normally pour the drink, and set that up now. Set that up now and look forward to it. And the second half of this is drinking. The habit of drinking and automatic drinking is any habit really is entwined in our identity and our self-concept, who we believe ourselves to be. The habits that we do inform who we believe ourselves to be. So to have a new habit, you have to think of yourself in terms of some other aspect of you. So it's not like, I'm a queen of England, even though she drank 4 drinks a day, I read every day. So it's not imaginary. It's not fantasy, right? Like there is an aspect of you, there's versions of our personality And the version of our personality or our identity that drinks all the time is older and outdated than who we really are at this point in time. A lot of our drinking is attached to younger, less mature, less resourced versions of us that we're still acting on because we're thinking in terms of that version of us. This is like a little bigger than, this is a really big concept. So I'm going to try to distill it just in a little bite-sized amount for right now, with it, like something that you can apply. So to have a new habit, you have to be thinking of yourself in other terms, in terms of being somebody that doesn't have the maladaptive tendency to drink to solve a problem. So I'll say that in another way. So thinking of your routine, for example, the new routine that you're inserting today, the positive one, the non-maladaptive one, who are you when you do that thing? So if you have if a yoga class is your thing, for example, or you're going to go for a run, that is, I'll speak in first person. Oh, that is athletic me. Oh, that's yogi me. That is health conscious me. That is me who loves to take care of my body. That is me who feels really good when I'm doing deep breathing and exercising. That is health conscious me. That's yogi me. That's me who wants this, this, and this, right? All of that criteria that belongs to that version of you is who you want to shift into at the time when you start rationalizing that maybe it's okay to have a drink, or like, well, I'm just gonna not do this one. I'm just gonna sit this one out. Or when we start talking to ourselves like that, try to identify that there's two parts of you that are vying for your attention. There's the older version of you that like feels really comfortable and like likes the familiarity and likes the predictability and really likes drinking and really likes alcohol. And like that is a version of you for sure. We're not trying to say anything about you is bad or needs to go away, just to be acknowledged of like, I see who's talking here. This is this version of me. And there's also this other part of me that made this plan to go for a run at 5:30 or go for a walk around the neighborhood. Nature me, healing me, oh, that deeper place in me, and access that part of you as well. So you're not being not manipulated, but like talked into something that you set your mind out that you weren't going to do by the comfortable familiarity of an old version of you. So changing your drinking requires a shift in identity. And so this is the little piece that you're going to try on today. Notice when the chatter comes. Notice when the talking comes of trying to talk yourself into doing something, trying to talk yourself into just having that drink. Oh, just, don't do grateful AF. Just no one will know. Notice that you're talking like that. Just notice that you're talking like that and assign those thoughts to a version of you. And then bring in this other version of you that really wants the change, that really is excited about the new routine, that really loves waking up and feeling energized, this version of you, and let this part of you speak as well. And sometimes I ask myself like, oh, what would Yogi Jessica do right now? So like I do all of these things all the time, these tips and techniques that I'm sharing with you, I do them too. It's easier the more you go on, and sometimes you don't even have to do anything. It just becomes natural to not drink on days that you've assigned alcohol-free days. But while you're learning, do the things, right? Mindful drinking is a practice. It's a skill, and you need to practice it to get better at it. And that's why we're here. That's why you're here. So thank you so much for being here. I'll just recap gently. You're going to identify the time that you drink and what it is that you're hoping to feel at that time. What emotional state are you hoping to achieve, or what emotional quality? Identify that, and then give yourself a new routine that will satisfy, that will give you that feeling, probably more so than alcohol ever could. Even though alcohol is so tempting, right? It's like, just seems like the easy fix, the easy way out. Let's train ourselves to choose differently, because every time that you do choose differently, you're creating new neural pathways that make it easier and easier for you to do differently the next time, this time, and the next time, and moving forward. You become somebody else, which follows into the second part of what I was saying. You become somebody else. When you start thinking this way, thinking differently, your drinking will automatically change because you see yourself with different eyes. The way that we see ourselves are like the way that we behave. If I see myself as someone who has no control and I'm a wino and everything sucks and I just need to sit on the couch, then that's what I'm going to do. But if I see myself as someone who can affect change, I see myself as someone who really values health. And even if it's just a small 5-minute walk, that's what I'm going to choose because I'm seeing myself in a different way. So I invite you to see yourself in a different way and see yourself as someone who gets excited about having the new routine. Okay, that is what I have for you today. If anybody has any questions, you can type them into the chat, or you can just ask them to me, or you can put them into the group. Thanks for being here. Thanks for practicing AF practices, AF lifestyle. Totally worth it, and it's totally doable. And that's really just what I want everyone to know, is that everybody can do this. I hope everyone has a great day. Let me know what your new routines are. Show up in the messenger thread and speak about it there, and let's all get excited for each other because it is super exciting. Oh, there's a question. Mira ver. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Jen. Thanks for being here. See you soon.